Good morning, everybody. This is Max Farrell. This is Dex Trader. This is April 16th, 2018, and this is your daily update. All right, everybody. So listen, it was a great weekend. I had some great stuff happen. We're very excited about everything that's happening with the sites and systems. We're getting to an ease of use now that is really coming into our own, and everything's loading faster. Whew, it is just, I'm so happy with our results. Now what we need to do is really build on the content and the deliveries of our programs and our training so you can better yourself in the world of trading, okay? So what are some of the updates? Well, we talked about a little bit of them last week. We went to the basic signals and revamped them. We found that the system that was running before was a little bit slow with all the other things that were going on. So what we did is that we separated the tabs, and we removed one of the systems in here. Our NA intraday, the news avoidance intraday, is no longer with us. We kept on trying to fix it, but every time investing.com, because we use investing.com to feed our news to us, every time that they would change their protocols, it would break our system, and we had to spend days trying to find out what little thing did they change, because they don't put out reports for us, because, it's just one of those things. I guess they wanted to have access to it or something to it. I don't know. So long and short of it is that if you're going to trade signals, you're going to have to avoid the news, and that means looking at the news tab. Investing.com still has our news tab up here, and you just have to it's just a 30-second look. If this is your time of trading, avoid it like the plague. Okay? Plain and simple. Half hour before, half hour after, and just pay attention to when the signals come out and how they work. If they are on a daily signal, you really want to watch where the news falls. If it falls immediately when the signal comes out, or an hour before, half hour before, you may want to avoid those signals themselves. All right. So now the daily signals have its own little page here, and right below the daily signals is the DPC for the dailies. If you click on one of the one of the other pre-specs, you may not be able to go back just yet. You might have to just do a refresh of the entire page, which is fine. It only takes a second to reload back in again, okay? Same sorting processes still work. Everything still works in the sorting section. You want to isolate the variable and do it on the buy or buy sell or what have you. If you want to use the collapsible panels here, you just want to look at all the JPYs in a buy selection. You could still do that, clear sorting. All that still works. You just have to refresh the page now to get it to that point. We discontinued some of the markers in there to keep it fresh and keep refreshing. We have to allow you to refresh your page. Okay? Intradays still the same. SR maxes still the same. Our training, and on the training tab here, you're still going to see our regular training systems until I release the new ones. But we are doing a new type of style of training system that's coming on. I'm going to show you just a preset here. It's going to look like this. I'm just in the middle of getting them all on. We have hundreds of videos to turn over and push in, and also I have a lot of training videos to redo. Now, there are going to be 3 special sections for trading, okay? The first one is we have a set of training that's in here that's absolutely free. So we already know that there's free training on board, right? So the free training is going to be, learning how to use Nadex, using your MetaTrader 4. There's even a free Trader's Mind series in there. And a lot of people have asked me, why do you do the Trader's Mind series for free? You could charge for that. And I know that I could, but I really want you as a trader to know what you're getting into. And so in order for me to sleep better at night when you come on board, I want you to go through as much of that training as possible, that free training, before you even purchase, because I want you to know exactly what you're getting into within the process. There's also free signals training on board. We teach you how to use our signals even before we give them to you, because we want you to hit the ground running and in the right direction. Okay. Now, the second batch of training on board is that once you're on board, there's paid training. Okay. And this paid training is all about learning how to use the signals even more, learning about account management, those kind of things that are a little bit more priority to our system. And, I got to show you the stuff actually working and being in that process. And then finally, there is I guess you can call it practical or business training, right? We're going to call this practical training. And practical training is all about running this entire solution for yourself in a business format. Okay. And this solution here is really about you getting more involved, whether it's with the site or the system or your business or advertising or what have you. So there's quite a bit for us to be able to advance on here within your trading life. And so I want you to have an understanding that we as a company want to help build you as a company. That's right. I want you to be successful. That's our whole mission statement, is to find as many people as possible we can help find their idea of success. Okay, so your idea of success may be further down that road to build up a business and make a career out of this, or just have it as a hobby. Whatever it is, we want to help you find it. The 5-minute signals is still the same. We're still using them as a training vessel. There will be a little revamp of the 4 square, and we're going to try to make the pages a little bit bigger, and that's coming very, very soon, over the next day or so. The series that we have in here, Nadex Ninja, A Trader's Mind, and MetaTrader Mayhem, will all get their own special little area to be able to work on and follow with. There'll also be some certifications that we'll be working with, and those certifications will help you with us later on. So we know that you can answer questions and help others, and get some money off of any fees, and actually get some other things. Now, this is mostly on the Nadex side that we're looking at. Our Forex member side is getting a huge revamp in the next 2 days. We're finally releasing all of our solutions for our strategy testing and our automated series. And what do I mean by this? I mean that we're going to release our bots to the Forex side so you can run and test and work with them yourself, because you're going to do something you could probably look at. If you stick around, you can watch the Dex Effects copy update coming up here in a minute or two, and learn what I'm doing over there and how I'm using the mentality of forecasting and delivery of a bot to show that I can make something really good out of it. Okay, so keep that in mind as we get into the next series here. For today, April 16, 2018, now comes your Dex Effects copy update. Well, oh yeah, today is an awesome day. And the reason is that because we've been struggling and trying to find something that can operate at such a level that would just create a consistency value for us that we could just work with all the time. Trying to find consistency is the needle in the haystack, is the $1 million secret. And that's where a lot of people forget that you nearly need to, that's all you need to strive for. You just have to find consistency. Consistency will give you everything, right? And consistent data collection is very important. You can't add a whole bunch of variables and systems and always constantly changing everything. You need something that has a consistent value, because consistent streams of data will yield consistent results. How many times can I say the word consistency today? Not enough, right? Because we have an algorithm that our whole world revolves around, and we all know what this is, right? We can even put in the pre-algorithm here. Oop. Right? Patience and discipline can equal consistency, which then you have to add volume to once you get to it to get to your goal. And this is important. This is very, very important. We now have something that has a consistent value. And you're ready to see it? You may be shocked. I think I showed you this on Friday, but you may be shocked. You may be shocked because consistency isn't always in the value of what positive results look like. That's what this is. We call this a negative equity curve. Okay? And this negative equity curve is consistent. Very, very consistent. 4 or 5 days in the negative, a couple days in the positive. 5 or 6 days in the negative, flat line, negative, a couple days in the positive, then back in the negative, 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 negative. And it's been running since January 12th. Now, why is this so woohoo, Max? This no, this sucks because you're 14 minus, you got 15% drawdown. It's just crazy. Yeah, absolutely. But what if I were to take this line and simply draw it in the reverse? What does it look like? Yeah, that's right. It's a positive equity line. Several days of winning, a couple days of losing, a couple days of winning, and so forth. Well, Max, it can't be that easy, but yes, it actually can be that easy. In most cases, it wouldn't be that easy to take a system and strategy and just flip it. That's right, just flip it. Why? Because in the world of trading, there are a couple of things, right? Let's just talk about percentages. 50% is right in the middle, right? And a good successful ratio, so let's say 60%. We go 10% up and 10% down. We refer to this as the mean, the middle. And if a good ratio of percent success is 60% and something travels to that level and it starts to vibrate at that level, okay, yay, we're winning, we're winning, we're winning, or we're staying above. Then we just keep it what we're doing and we accept the results. Got to redraw that whole thing now, sorry. Wait, there you go. Let me see, nope, okay. All right, so we have to do it. So 50% in the middle, 60 and 40. But if something's operating lower than 40%, because we want to see things higher than 60%, because this really is our true mean, our mean average, our mean range, right? Between 60 and 40%. We're not doing well or super bad if we stay in between these areas, but we're not moving. We're not either advancing or seeing something in a negative. We need something to operate on the outside of these parameters, this mean average in here, in order for us to be successful. It's okay if it travels back in every once in a while, but as long as it comes back out. And nothing has been doing that within all of our systems. Now, and again, you have to have good data. And 3 months worth of data may not seem like a lot, but actually it is, just because of the way that it looks. And I want to show you this, is that it's not just the Odin, it's also the Canon. The Canon's doing it as well. Now, I want you to look at these numbers. These numbers are very important, because if we take the Odin Alpha and we look at the numbers, 1,800 in the hole for 3 months. That's about 600 pips a month. That may not seem like a lot, but we're gonna advance into a range of mentality here that's going to change us forever. Right? Because you need to know how much is not enough and how much is too much. Okay? We're talking 600 pips a month, and what can it yield us? Average. Okay? If we were to do the reverse, 600 pips a month. Okay? Because we're talking 3 months. Now, the Odin Alpha has had a few things switched on it, because when I went to the summary, I seen some positiveness under the Euro AUD, right? This is a good pair to have running in the right direction. This is the only shining star besides the Great Britain Pound USD, which is really small in its result, that was giving us a positive result that was really good. The USD JPY also does it, but I'll talk about that here in a second. So I had to flip the Euro AUD in the opposite direction. So you're going to see this do worse on the Odin Alpha here over the next couple of days and the next couple of weeks. But it's going to work for our behavior, work in our favor, I should say. Okay? So taking this equity curve over this period of time, whether it's 800 pips or 600 pips a month, doesn't really matter at this point, as long as it's in a positive pip ratio and we're going in the right direction. We're falling down below a certain rate of success. How many trades have we done? compared to the rate of success. And that's very important to know. Our R values really strong. The average win $1.85, the average loss $2.49. This is a reversed R value on the Odin Alpha, right? So if we flip that, the average win would be $2.49, and the average loss will be $1.85, right? To a degree. You're not going to get an exact. I'm going to show you some things that are going to happen. So we're sitting at 51%, and I know you're like, well, that's right in the middle of the mean. No, because that's as a whole. We're looking for how many times does a pair win, daily wins to losses ratio. That's what we're looking for. So is this, when it drops down from one day to another, is that a loss or a win day? That's a loss day. Here's a win day. That's only 2. And then you got 4 loss days. 1 win day, 3 or 4 loss days. See how that works? That's what we're looking to accomplish in a consistency value. Positive PIP ratio each and every day. You know, where are we at? Not getting it every single day, but within a certain process. Okay? Now, how do I know if this works or not? Because just flipping it and making it go in the opposite direction, how do I know if that works? Well, what I did is that I took the Odin Alpha and took its resource that we have on our system, okay? And our system has the availability, as well as the bots do as well. The bots actually have an availability for me to reverse the signal that normally would be a sell and make it a buy instead, and flip the ratios of support and resist, or of stop losses and take profit as well. So what we've done is that we have taken the stream of this information, and every time it puts out a buy, it will throw a sell onto our other account called Odin Forward, okay? Because we've taken the reverse of Odin Alpha and done it in the and basically have made it the reverse. Now, this is a pair that's only been run. This is a system that's only been running since the 12th, which is last week. So 3 days worth of trading, 1, 2, 3, and you can kind of see that so far it's holding its own. So far, it's working. It doesn't have an exact opposite of the Odin Alpha, except for the trades that are on, right? Because there's some variables that are in here that are different, okay? But it's pretty damn close. And the variables are working pretty strong. I think we found a good connection with this process. Now, this only takes a little bit of management, so I'll be doing it at first, but I'm going to be training a couple of traders to be able to run this solution for us. And so there's going to be a lot of talk about this particular process. And so this solution for the DexFX copy people, let's talk about that now next, because we have the Odin Forward. We're going to have the Cannon Forward that's going to be coming up. Don't know if we're going to be doing too much with Vader. This might just be a consolation prize on any one of the bots that has the Vader USDC AD. That's probably about all of it that I want to do on there. I am going to look at keeping the USDC AD on there, and one other one, the Euro AUD, but I'm gonna bot flip that. Okay, even probably the Euro USD will probably stay on now. Look, now it's doing pretty good. But the others I might take off. So you might only have the Euro AUD, Euro USD, and the USDC AD. And we'll see how this Vader system works out for us over the next month. Because what we look for in a flipping system is that here's the positive equity, here's the negative equity, right? And here's the mean. It's vibrating within that level, right? That's what we look for. Whereas the other is straight down, right? If we had straight up, this wouldn't even be a conversation for them. But when it vibrates in the middle, I can't really do anything. I have to find a way to make it move one way or another, right? And that's why using the summary is so important, and having it run on its own for such a long time. Now it's its third month, coming up to its third month. And you can kind of see it's operating right in the middle. So that tells me that there's 1 or 2 pairs that are doing really well and 1 or 2 pairs that are really doing bad. The ones that are doing in the middle, I'm not concerned about. I might even turn them off. If I can't force them to operate in one way or another, either doing better or doing worse, so I can flip them, then they're no concern to me. Lastly, simply Forex and the other stuff, not being able to trade and take on that advantage. I'm not going to jump on board just that right now. Some of the other people that are trading with us and even that team of traders, I've sort of put to the side because I haven't seen the consistency value on them. I have, but it's sort of a negative connotation that they're another one that's going down. I might just take everything they say and flip it, right? But then they start doing well. So it's all a matter of personal at that point. And I don't want to make it personal. I don't want to make it about a manual trader. I'm looking to make a bot system that will trade that will trade automatic, and that I can adjust the values to as I go. With the mentality of an individual, I can't adjust that value. Okay, I can only pump them up, and they can get taken out at any time. Something bad happens to their life or what have you. Where the bots are all mechanical. So we're going to stay with that. We're going to stay with that mentality for now. All right, and I'm only going to stay with one system in here. So you're going to have an opportunity. Let's get back over to the whiteboard and just talk about that just for a second, and then I'll let you go for the day. Everybody, there were two main systems. There was the DexFX copy, okay, where you went into the member system and you attached an MT4 to your system, and then there was the WB, okay, and the WB stands for web-based, right? Now, this web-based system is pretty cool because you don't need a MetaTrader 4 or any of that. You can make a MetaTrader 4, and I will be putting videos out for that side on what to do, but I want you to know that I'm making this to where each and every one of you is going to have access to this, okay? Every single one of you is going to have access to it. Now, it costs a certain amount of money to run on each and every one of those systems, but I'm going to omit that for right now. And I want you to do two things. Every single system that I'm going to have on there that you're going to see available as a signal, there are two versions of it. The first version is a signal, right? And the signal comes via email. Right? You sign up for it. There might be a paid service, or there's not going to be any paid service for you guys that are just on this, but for all you new people that are on, you probably paid for the service to come on. Okay? And you'll get this email to tell you what to do, what trade to take, what levels to put it at, all that kind of good stuff. Okay? Secondly, there is a Copier service for it as well. You can add the Copier to it. So if you add the signal to it, you're just going to add your email, it'll be blah, blah, blah. I'll show you the videos on how to add all that stuff on, okay? If you're not going to add the Copier, if you're not going to do just a signal service, you want to do the Copier, then you can add the Copier on for now. But later on, you got to make sure that your $47 is going, okay? Because this costs us money to be able to transmit and do. Okay? All right. But only after maybe you attach demo to it, maybe whatever it is, you attach a demo to it. If you need an extra account to attach, I can look at getting you one. But we're going to take your if you were doing live, take that one off and put a demo account back on to test this out with me over the next month, even just to the May 1st, to test this out to make sure we're on the right pathway. I'm pretty sure we are. I'm pretty sure we got it now. We got it lined down to just a handful of things. Now, there's not just going to be, I'm not going to be doing a max prime system, okay? But I will be doing the Copier systems for the Odin, okay? We've got the Odin Ford and the Canon, right? So these two are going to run and become very powerful allies in our system, and we may have a Vader add-on, right? USDC80. We might be able to add that on. But what I would suggest that you do is that you take that add-on, and if you use the USDC80 on and you're using Odin, then you disqualify the Odin's USDC80 on it. And I'll show you how to do all that once we get that system on. All right, this was a lot of information today. I appreciate your patience. I know that this is a lot of crazy information, but I'm telling you right now, I don't give up. And this stuff is just too powerful for me to ignore. Okay, so now it's out there. I wish you all the best of luck. I hope this finds you well. I hope you had a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you inside. And as always, trade well.